Hello, cyberspace. This is Jeffrey Wudon Martinez here, and today I want to talk to you about the concept of no mind. No mind is actually a philosophy that I've taken from seeing the movie The Last Samurai, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you check it out. In that, basically, the main character is Tom Cruise, and he learns the art of sword work and Japanese traditions and being what it means to be a samurai. So at one point in the movie, he's in a sparring match. He's just learned the sword. He's still working on it. He's still pretty new, and he gets beat. He gets beat pretty bad. And so Katsumoto's son comes up to him and says, "Excuse me, too many mind." And Tom Cruise goes, "Too many mind? Yes, too many mind. Mind the audience. Mind the sword. Mind the opponent. Too many mind." And then Tom Cruise reflects on this for half a second, for a second or two, and says, "No mind, huh?" And he goes and goes up against the same opponent, and he does much better. It ends up being a draw. And so what happened here? And I think this is the best example of what we're trying to achieve in the martial arts and in meditative practice in general, this state of no mind. Bruce Lee talks about this in Jeet Kune Do, where people focus on the results, on the victory, and then lose the victory. You want to stay in the moment with this kind of no mind philosophy. So what is it? To me, it's relying on instinct. Okay, if you're in a fight, you don't have time to think. If you're in a fight, you really shouldn't rely on your emotions because that leads to mistakes. So you want to stay in the moment. You want to stay with your instincts. Um, and so it's similar to a meditative practice, right? Where instead of thinking and just sitting there thinking, you instead, a very common way to do it is to focus on your breathing, and by focusing on that, you have no mind. You empty it, as it were, and that's what they're talking about, where you empty your mind, and it's kind of one of those highest states to be. And so to me, it's my brain, and I think everyone's brain, goes on and on and on and on. So what is it? How do we achieve it? And that's one of the reasons I like the martial arts, is because of that physical action. It helps me to not think and instead to do, right? And one of the best examples I can give also is I do this with soccer. Okay, when I play soccer, I play defense. There's so many moving pieces, so many players, the ball, et cetera, that I rely on no mind. I rely on my instincts to basically be in the right position at the right time to intercept the ball, or my different reactions and whatnot. Runners do a similar thing where they run and they breathe, and then they kind of reach this meditative state. Um, and so it comes down to instinct and then acting into the moment, which I've probably said this again and again. The challenge of no mind is, until you experience it, or if this doesn't make sense to you, it's hard to convey that and communicate that. Um, so one of the best ways I've found to reach it, other than you don't want to get into a fist fight, and if you get on the field of battle, or I mean even soccer is a field of battle, right? At that point, it's almost too little, too late. So how you get improvement and to reach this ability, is to drill and to build up muscle memory, right? Because if you think about it, we don't think about walking. And in fact, we've gotten so good at walking, we don't focus on walking. We do other things while walking, right? We'll talk and walk and, do two things at the same time. So, but we were all babies at one point. So you have to build up the muscle memory, and you have to drill it, and you have to do it again and again. And this philosophy will work into the martial arts, so that once you've done a skill again and again and again, you'll get better at it. And so everyone has different strengths and weaknesses, but everyone has instincts. Maybe they haven't learned to rely on them, but everyone has that base zero. So I consider no mind to be that base zero of what you want to achieve, which is why it's one of the first videos I'm going into things, right? And so what I'm going to follow with the other videos and whatever, this is that foundation starting philosophy. I want you to think of it from a perspective of getting to a point of no mind, right? If you do a choreography or whatever, you don't want to think. You want to be no mind and just be in the flow, follow your buddy, follow your buddy, do what comes naturally. But prior to that comes a lot of training, a lot of discipline, a lot of action to refine your motions and improve. And so it becomes this cycle of doing and refining and doing and refining. But always remember, no mind. Don't mind who might be watching. Don't mind that you might have messed up. You're going to improve. You're going to get better. Simply be in the flow. And I think that's really what the martial arts is about. Be in the flow of life. And as you get better with forms and with meditation, you can then extend that into the larger world and just keep practicing. So thank you for watching this. I hope No Mind makes sense to you. I hope you can apply it in your daily practices and in your daily life, and that it was a benefit to you. So if you like this video, like it, share it, comment on it. I love to hear what your opinion is of No Mind, of this Eastern um, um, esoteric philosophy, if you will. And yeah, take care. May the force be with you.